Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you didn't know, my name is Megan and we talk about books over here. It is a brand new year. It is 2021. Woo! Can I get a round of applause that 2020 is finally over? We're still dealing with the same problems, but you know what? We got a new president in the United States of America. And, you know, things are just looking up. It's a new year and like new experiences and new shit is getting done. And, you know, we have a vaccine that's like 94% effective. I don't remember. Yeah, you know what? It's a new year and we're doing the damn thing. So anyways, obviously new year, new goals. I actually was going to keep on with the tradition of me making a New Year's resolution video like I have every year, but you know what, this year I'm just not, because you know what, screw New Year's resolutions. I'm just gonna do what I want and we're just gonna live life and be happy, and I'm not gonna put any like markers on what should be like my happiness. But I do have a goal for reading, and it is to read 100 books. Hopefully we reach that goal, because for the past few years I have not. I didn't even reach 50 last year, so yeah, there's that. I did read 5 books in January, so it's a good start, I guess. It's not the greatest start, but you know what? It's 5 books, and that is 5 more than I have read in a while. So, the first book that I read was a true crime book. It is called Pretty Little Killers: The Truth Behind the Savage Murder of Skylar Neese by Daleen Berry, Jeffrey C. Fuller. Well, and Jeffrey C. Fuller. And I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. If you didn't know, this case is crazy. I believe it happened, what, 2013? It happened while I was in high school. I graduated in 2014. So these girls that the story is about, they were around the same age as me. So I resonated with the story weirdly, because I was thinking about me doing the same exact things when I was a teenager and like comparing it to their story, which is like really weird. I'm pretty sure I'm the same age as the girls in the story, so yeah, weird. Anyways, if you didn't know what it's about, it is about these 3 girls who are friends, Skylar Neese being one of them. She was killed by her other 2 friends. They had, you know how it goes with teenagers. There's a trio of friends. 2 become, you know, buddy-buddy, and then this one gets left out. So that's basically what happened. This one was Skylar, and these other 2 were, I think, Sheila and I forget, Sheila and Rachel. So Sheila and Rachel and Skylar, they were all friends, and then yeah, these 2 killed Skylar, and then they were pretending that they knew nothing about it, and they like tweeted stuff kind of like alluding to the murder, and it's just crazy. If you haven't ever heard about it, you should probably look up the case, because it's crazy. Anyways, the book was about that, and yeah, it was really weird to read about. The second book that I read was When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. This was one of the thrillers that I read for January. I gave it also 4 out of 5 stars. This was really awesome. It was very different. Pretty much this book was about this woman. Her name is Sydney, and she grew up in a neighborhood in Brooklyn, and it is essentially her story about how she moves back to her neighborhood after her life has gone on for a little bit. She's like in her 30s now, and she's divorced, and so she moves back to her neighborhood, and essentially these rich white people are taking over her black neighborhood, and some crazy shit happens, and it just makes you think about things. Like, this was to an extreme, like it went to extremes in the book, but it just makes you think, like, I don't know, it's just crazy. Definitely a book to pick up. The next book that I read was Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was so good. And it's essentially about this girl, Morgan, and her daughter, Clara. And half the story is in Morgan's point of view, the other half of the story is in Clara's point of view. And it is when Clara is a teenager and she's falling in love, and then Morgan, and she is falling for, I don't even want to say falling for, because it's like so intricate the way that stuff happens. This book blew my mind. It's not a thriller, but it had twists like a thriller does. I don't even know how to describe it, but it was crazy and I enjoyed every minute of it. The romance was great. It does get a little bit steamy, but it's also really sad at some parts. Like, it's crazy how depressing this book is at some parts. But yeah, I am definitely gonna be reading more from Colleen Hoover from now on, because like, holy shit, it was so good. Comment below if you have read any of her books, because I am interested in which ones I should read next, because holy shit. The next 2 books that I read were thrillers, and they were both for the book club that I have at work. So the first book that I read was The Girls' Weekend by Judy Gearman, and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It's essentially about a group of friends who are grown up now, and they go and they have a girls' weekend get together at one of their rich friends' houses, and shit starts going down. I did give it 3 out of 5 just because some parts were very cringy and I really didn't pay attention, to be honest. I don't know. The last book that I read was 10 by Gretchen McNeil, which I also gave 3 out of 5 stars. This was almost the exact same thing as The Girls' Weekend, except this was a YA thriller, but essentially it was the same premise. They went to somebody's house for the weekend and people started dying. It was alright. I don't really recommend it to anyone. I know that some people have rated it really high, like I think Lala rated it like 4 stars, which I don't understand. Those are all the books that I read in January. Anyways, it is February now, and so you know what that means? It's Valentine's Day. We're getting like a little steamy, a little romancy up in here, and so like I have a few romances on my shelf that I haven't read yet. Also, I want to get into more Colleen Hoover, like I said, so expect a lot of those in my next month's wrap up. If you like this video, please like it, and you know, comment below what you thought, what you read in January. That's it. I think that's it. All right, peace.